This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
We just had the greatest conversation. We just
like
chatted for like almost like a 30-minute conversation of stuff that y'all would probably really like to hear. But instead,
Too bad.
Jamie, do you want to hear the most fucked up thing I heard today? This is how
Yes.
we're starting the podcast.
Yes.
At approximately 8:45 this morning, I got told by a medical professional, your kneecap is just a little too twisted.
There's a peak amount of twisted it can be, and yours is far past the line.
Literally, yes. Yeah,
What
you nailed
does
it.
that mean and how? How did that happen? Stop. We need a gut update.
Actually, okay, I do have a gut update.
Oh, man. I hope it's a good one.
No.
Damn it.
I
Stop.
mean, so the whole gut update thing apparently is related to friends, podcast listeners. Hi.
Lend me your ears.
Brian Manili here. Glad to see you with my ears. So there's you hear, like, you probably had friends in like elementary school. They're like, oh, I'm so flexible, I can do this thing. And then maybe you had people like if you're that age, you know, in 20s and 30s, talking about like, oh, I'm just like really flexible.
I don't think
there's yeah, it kind of slows down at a certain point. There's a spectrum, a hypermobility spectrum. And at nearing the peak of that, you have EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Look it up. At the peak, you have Marfan syndrome, which is actually kind of terrifying. And I was starting to go into testing to see.
I think I've heard about that in books.
But no, it's great. So I while my insurance and doctors have been dodging me as far as getting an EDS diagnosis,
You love to see it.
which is the funniest, really quick bit about like American healthcare system. I tried to set up preliminary testing for EDS, and I got into the doctor's office. This was like a year ago. And homeboy says, okay, so what's the problem? And I said, oh, well, I'm just trying to like get a diagnosis for like hypermobility. I'm having all these problems, blah, blah, blah. And the guy like hands up like, whoa. I'm not ready for that. And I said, what? And he says, well, on the notes here, it says.
Yeah, I think you told me about this in person, but continue for the listener. Yeah.
He says, whoa, hold up. I thought you were here for ED, erectile dysfunction. And I was like, what?
This is plural. Erectile dysfunctions.
Yeah, it's happened more than once. And the doctor was just like really pissed at me because whoever set
Someone
up the
else
appointment
wrote it
like,
down wrong. Yeah.
left out and I was new to the terminology of Marfan syndrome. I was Marfan. I don't know how you pronounce it. I was really new to the terminology of EDS. Yeah. And maybe the nurse or doctor, whoever I talked to, was as well. But it was a pretty upsetting situation. And they have, after that appointment.
You're not here about your dick? No,
Yeah,
no.
really.
God damn it.
So anyway, I've got some kinesio tape, I think is what it's called, all over my knee because
It's like a big old Band-Aid.
It looks like a big Band-Aid. It's like a tan Band-Aid over a black Band-Aid.
Is it like holding your kneecap in the right spot or something?
Yeah. So he essentially like put the tape on one side and then twisted to my kneecap like roughly where it should be, and then kind of cranked down on it and said, okay, your kneecap should kind of be there, and here's an extra one to help with the stability.
Is this something that it has just been that way, or is it a recent development? Like, have you always had twisted kneecap trademark symbol, or have you just developed this?
I've kind of always had this, and I've had issues, and that's why, like, in like 15 or 16 or whatever, I was like really into running. Yeah. And I was just like, I just got to wear a knee brace all the time now because my knee is hurting. It's all related. And also, EDS is a connective tissue disorder. Very likely be tied into why I got a hernia at all in the first place, was that connective tissue isn't just joints. It's like, bad news, your heart and also like muscle groups and things like that. So it's very likely that because I wasn't doing anything like, I wasn't doing any heavy lifting or straining or anything when I got my hernia. I was literally stepping out of the shower. Like, I'm a frail old lady.
Your knee pulled on your guts.
That's essentially what it is.
I need some extra help. My sister has, she was always wearing a knee brace and drum corps and stuff like that, any physical activity. And then it turned out that it wasn't her knee at all. It was like her left hip or whatever, whichever hip on that knee side was like a half inch longer than the other hip or something. So it was like she just was lopsided. could not like, but it was like years before we figured out that that's what the problem actually was. And yeah, bodies are fucking dumb.
It's fucking dumb. Are there any medical professionals that listen to this podcast? Write in the comments below.
Keen Machine, obviously a doctor, as we've always known. I don't know, it was the first one that came to mind. Sorry.
Yeah, everybody else. Keen is a doctor, and Dylan is a receptionist. Love you, Dylan. Also, wait. Quick aside. We've got a request from Kyle to play Helldivers with us.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You've
played once with Dylan.
Helldivers with Dylan once. And that is an unacceptable amount of hell dives because democracy is at stake. Why? We need like a Yop. Can we please?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like there's a Discord, I think, right? That I can't be a part of because spoilers.
I mean, we could just make a Yoppie gaming or something. I don't know.
Dude, we need to just get like the community together because I've been having a lot of fun with this game. I would be really happy to have a collective of Yoppie dudes to play.
If you are listener are listening and you play Helldivers, tell us or something. I don't know. But there's also we've been talking about that. I think Coral said this in the production Discord, the secret production Discord.
Is Coral Dylan Pollock? Is Coral listen?
As far as we know, yeah.
Okay.
But
hey, Coral.
Oh, you mean like listens to the podcast? Is that what you mean? I don't think so. They were doing that for a while, and then we're trying to watch every episode, which I also found out that Scott Steele, if you're listening to this at some point, has not been listening for a while because when we got to Superman, he was like, I haven't watched Superman, so I'll watch the episodes with the podcast, and then didn't get fell way behind. So I had dinner with him the other night. I told him, just fuck it, just listen to the podcast like you always were. That's why I took out the what did I say before in the opening spiel had like we recommend you listen to watch today's episode. Yeah. I took that out because it's like, who cares? Just do it or don't do it.
Yep. And I think that's not like calling out people like Kimmy, our male theme song. Male. She's a male.
Female as far as I know. But
whatever.
Yeah, what's the world come to? Woke hashtag something.
But like she's watched maybe 6 episodes at this point in time.
Yeah, but listens to every episode of this.
Fuck it. You know what? We're happy. Kimmy. Listener, I'm sorry we're not talking about the DCAU. It's been at least 18 hours of this lead up.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you for being here. Jamie,
I'm going to stretch the last 9 minutes into 18 hours, and then I'll put it at the normal speed starting now. So you have to listen to it at like 14 times speed or something before.
I was thinking like 40 times speed.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe it's more.
Yeah.
What number episode of the podcast do you think it is today?
118.
No.
Shit.
Higher. Oh my God, the dogs really didn't like that answer.
Yeah, I realized that like we're at like 120 something, aren't we?
No, higher. This is 134.
No, it isn't.
Of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. I'm James
134.
from
Holy
the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm here to show my good buddy Brian the entire
Brian.
DC animated universe. Let's do this fast. 40 times speed. From start to finish.
We're not tipped apricot, okay?
No, and will never be.
No, it's true. We're not that cool.
Where's the sad bwops? Where'd the sad bwops go? Where are they? I've had to rearrange this so many times to fit things such as
disappointed.
All this stuff. Controversial Airdate orders. He may view these shows the way human beings experienced them in the far gone days of the 1900s. At the time of this recording,
7 to 8 p.m.
the new Batman Adventures is streaming on Max.
My dog.
And available on DVD and Blu-ray.
My other dog.
And if you'd like to follow along, you can head over to Bitly.
My other dog.
Yeah, /watch DCAU. Links in the show notes. Not even your dog, it's Kimmy's dog.
To be fair, I watched him last night. I'll be watching him Thursday through Saturday, and then Tuesday through the next Thursday. So he's like essentially my dog again.
Okay. He was more considerably your dog when you lived in Kimmy's backyard in a shed, but now
what
you
the
don't.
Fuck? In a 3 foot by 4 foot shed. I slept standing up, but hunched over because it was only 5 feet tall, and I'm
That may
considerably
explain
taller
why
than that.
your entire body is fucked up. Today we're watching the new Batman Adventures episode, Torch Song. I have no fucking recollection of what your prediction was.
I didn't
before.
have anything accurate.
It was something to do with the Olympics. Someone
that's
carrying
right.
a torch in the Olympics.
That's
Do you want to give it any other further
Jamie, shut the
insight
fuck
to
up and
this?
just continue.
Okay. This first aired Saturday. Sounds good. Saturday, June 13th, 1998. At 9:30 a.m. on Kids WB, 3 weeks after our last episode, Over the Edge.
Do you think anybody listening was born on June 13th? There's a lot of June babies out there.
If you are, tell us that you play Helldivers. This aired number 12 and prod number 10. So it's a different number.
Yeah,
but
those are
it's
different
close.
numbers.
This is written by Rich Fogel, directed by Kurt Gaeta.
Okay.
Music is by Shirley Walker, and animation is Coco Dong Yang. Woo! Woo! It's going to be Coco Dong Yang for a long time now, and just settle into that. If you want to buy us a Yoppie beverage and support the show, we'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. We'll also do a push up for every $1. Send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from Vitz. What do you know?
The man.
Says,
the
my
myth.
money is back, baby. Let's mix it up and do some squats. There's 5 of them, so we have to do 25 squats.
Oh my God.
I don't even know a squat form.
Also, can we, I was thinking just like a shout out an episode, like it's early on. I know some people don't listen to the mail or whatever, which is fine.
Right. It's not, but okay.
We should do something better. Can we like plug Vitz's? So Vitz, for those of you who don't know, is an insanely good photographer.
If you want us to plug something of yours included in your Yoppie Bev description or something.
That is a good idea. And if we know something about you,
if we already know,
then
We'll
we're
do it
going to
anyway.
plug, because like maybe, I don't know if Vitz is going to be like, oh yeah, plug my photography, but like, holy
going to.
hell. So yeah, Vitz Photos, VITZPHOTOS. Yeah, Vitz Photos on Instagram. Or Vitz.
Wait, you just logged into Instagram? Brian, get out of there. Hurry.
I know.
You're going to get the Instagram cancer.
It's okay. It's okay. VitzPhotography.com. Like seriously, go look at Vitz's work. He does a lot of stuff with circus artists.
Must be 18 or older to visit fitzphotography.com.
Maybe he does do some boudoir stuff, but like the guy's just, I am so bad at portrait photography that this doesn't like even necessarily matter, but he is so incredibly good. He's such an amazing artist and such a swell fella. So like go give Vitz a follow.
We like Vitz.
Let's do some squats because I got kneecaps on the right direction now.
Yeah, that's a great timing for that.
How far do we squat? Just far enough?
I don't know, just one of these.
Yeah, okay.
Just a clean, nice dip.
I like
I can
it.
actually move my microphone all the way over to me while I do this.
I'm just going to yell. All right,
Yeah,
ready?
okay. One. I'm just doing this
2.
for some reason. 2.
That's fine. I'll do it with you.
3. 4. These are too slow. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Good for your knee.
11.
12.
13.
14. 15.
16.
17.
18.
Oh my God, 18.
19.
19.
20.
20.
21.
22.
23.
24.
25.
25. We did it.
My physical therapist would be pleased to know that didn't hurt at all.
That's very good. It hurt me more, I think.
Oh no.
I don't know what squats are supposed to do.
It's supposed
Are
to
they
work
supposed to
out
make your butt big?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
Cool. Let's go watch Torch Song.
Let's go watch Torch Song. Cheers to you, Vitz. Thanks for the squats.
Thanks for Vitz. Or whatever. Bye.
You!
Why is Firefly after you?
You're not one for small talk, are ya? I guess he's sort of carrying a torch for me. We dated for a while. A couple of dinners, a concert, that sort of thing. He just didn't know when it was over.
Still doesn't.
That's why you gotta protect me. You're the only one who can. I'll make it worth your while.
I'm not for hire.
Sorry, it's just that I'm so scared. I hate the idea of being all alone. Creep.
So Dad's got me registering items they found in Lynn's apartment. And guess what? There's an invoice to an address on the east side of town.
Interesting. What are you doing tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky.
What?
Never mind.
Thank you.
Did that make you feel better?
You. Okay.
Yeah. Bottom 10 already.
Listener, quick aside. If this is one of your favorite episodes, I am very, very sincerely sorry. I am going to say exactly one nice thing about this episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Jamie, please.
Okay.
Sing up, if you're wondering. Sing up.
What the hell did I just watch?
Sing up. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short and summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Okay, are you ready, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares. Would you like to read the official synopsis?
I love it. That's gonna be such a nice contrast to I have the Yoppie or the Yoppisode guide document started because
Nice.
I've been needing
Good
to catch
job.
up on it and all that stuff. And I decided I'm going to do it for STES and TNBA because it's a larger grouping of episodes and we've been overlapping this whole time, so it'd be kind of weird to do them separately.
If we make this a drinking game again, we're going to die.
No, this is fewer episodes than just btas by combining the two of them.
But if we have to drink an entire 8 ounces of whiskey for each episode, we're going to die.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's the rule that we made. But I was just going to say that just the first episodes of Superman, just Last Son of Krypton parts 1 through 3, is over a page of your synopsis.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Unlike this episode, which is very bad.
Nobody cares. It's also going to be titled Dat Cass. Is that what we decided? Or Firefly is after Dat Cass or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Also, who cares on that? But the official synopsis is pyrotechnics expert Garfield Linz seeks to gain revenge against his former girlfriend, Pop is capitalized, pop singing star Cassidy in quotations. I guess it's not her name. I don't know.
I see why. Yeah. I see why. Just cutting you off. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, please.
Why me starting off the podcast with whiskey and you starting off the podcast with rum is a very good idea.
It is. Linz dons the garb of Firefly, also in quotes, and wreaks, R-E-A-K-S, which is not how you spell reeks. There's a W at the top of that. Havoc on Gotham. He wreaked havoc on Gotham. He didn't do that at all. He just kidnapped his ex-girlfriend and then made fry sauce in a warehouse.
that I would love to be the subtitle. It's kind of long, but
I think fry sauce in a warehouse is probably okay.
maybe.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Let me tell you the cat. No.
And let's go to the mail.
Let's compared to last episode. This is going to be short as hell.
It's what, 5 people? Maybe 6? Oh, there's Harvey.
What? Oh, no, I'll tell you the cast later.
Okay.
We'll do a proper podcast. All right. The listeners expect it.
I just don't want to.
I know. I also agree.
Oh, that could also be.
Well,
sorry, that could also be a good. Yeah, I just don't want to.
I also will apologize in advance for anybody that really likes this episode, but I've never liked it. I didn't like it again this time, and. We're
that's the probably... one. I didn't like it again this time.
Yeah, there's so many options. I'm writing them all down as we go. Yeah, it's Firefly in general, kind of a cool concept. Bad execution, bad episode. Sorry, Rich Fogel, if you're listening.
It's just that, like, okay, the concept now is so cringy. You have an obsessive ex-boyfriend, specifically. Having dealt with an obsessive ex-girlfriend, bad enough. A dude after a chick, obsessive partners, it's really uncomfortable to watch, especially now.
Especially when they don't have eyebrows. Yeah.
Especially if you're a guy who had dated a girl and you're obsessed with her after a breakup and you don't have eyebrows, just give it up. Give the girl her space. She deserves that.
There was the new Caped Crusader cartoon that came out a couple weeks ago, has a character named Firebug, who is like a different DC Comics villain that I know basically nothing about, who wears like a big fiery orange and red costume and he's similar gimmick where he just lights shit on fire. And in the whole time, and there's like a running gag in the episode where these crooked cops that are like transporting him somewhere against his will keep calling him Firefly, and he's like, it's Firebug, like he keeps like telling them. But then when he finally puts on his costume later, it's like a terrible homemade cosplay version of the Firefly costume from this show.
Really?
And it's like I assume it's just supposed to look like the Firefly comics costume or something like that. I don't really know this character very well, but it's the same like silver big goggle eyes and he's got like a fire gun
short
on his
wings,
hands and stuff.
jetpack that I guess works.
He just has like
hovers
tanks on his back. Yeah, that didn't make any sense how he was flying. He just flies.
No. Very slowly.
Yeah. You rightfully were like, are we sure this isn't like Lapis Azul in the middle of this? Because
oh my God.
Every fight scene was in slow motion, it felt
also,
like.
Cassidy's eyes never pointed in the same direction at the same time. Maybe she has a lazy eye.
Helga Pataki shrine that Garfield had of her.
Every poster.
Every picture was that Martha Wayne painting from Robin's Reckoning.
She's looking in no less than 3 directions at any point with her 2 eyeballs.
Yeah. It was like they kept zooming in on that one poster of her where her eyes were 2 different sizes and looking 2 different directions, and it was supposed to be this really dramatic shot of like, oh no, he's gonna come for her, and then it was just like, it's
like maybe stop zooming in on that.
Yeah. Even Harvey Bullock in that scene, you were like, what happened to his face? It like scrunched for a second. It was really bizarre how
they
bad the
shrunk
animation
the
was.
height of his face by 3 inches, and they increased the width by 8 inches.
Yeah.
God, I've never been less excited to see Harvey. Jamie, this is such a bad.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had one that has been genuinely so like you said it was Sewer King, but not laughably bad, in that like we were both, probably what you're about to say, where we were both like, it was the final climactic fight scene. Batman's in his robot costume and walking around and everything's exploding. What you say what you said.
I said something along the lines of, can we just stop watching the episode right now? I don't care to find out the ending. I just felt like I was wasting my time.
It was just such a predictable, like not predictable like plot wise, but just like what you would expect a Batman episode to do. It was like going through the motions of a very generic schlocky Batman episode where like the bad guy here's his like tiny origin story, and then he puts on a costume and he has the gimmick, and then everything explodes at the end, and you know that he's going to be defeated and Batman's going to save the girl, and then the end. The only like cherry on top was her then having like a fire phobia. But that's terrible. You said something very poignant
Did I?
partway through where I think you might have just been referring to in general, but whenever she's wrapped up in the Mephisto warehouse place and you just said like, I just don't care or something like that. And
that's the point. That's as poignant as I get, dear listener.
Well, I felt the same way, because it's like, you're supposed to be, oh man, I hope Batman saves this poor woman who sings like shit. And
we'll get to that later.
Is really like weirdly sexually like trying to like gaslight Batman into fucking her or something. It was really weird. And I was like, so I don't like this character at all.
No,
I don't want her to be saved. Like, so I was like,
I don't
what
want
was
her
the point?
to be killed, but I just don't care about anything. Like, we get this whole like, the the episode starts off like relatively strong, except for the fact that we see this. We got this big pop star performing, Cassidy.
The very first shot.
And then the very first shot says Cassidy. Yeah. We see the name in lights kind of thing and a big picture of her.
Marquee.
And the second, thank you, Marquee is the word I couldn't remember. Mm-hmm. This literally second shot, her name isn't there anymore.
It's gone.
It was like, okay, cool. That's the attention to detail this episode's going to have. We're 8 seconds into the episode.
The play-by-play here is that we started the episode. Mm-hmm. You saw that it said Cassidy on the marquee. Second shot, it didn't. Then you looked over and said, "Oh, dogs are about to bark," and they ruff, 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 ruff. And I reached really fast for my mouse to pause the episode because you lifted your remote to pause what I thought to pause the episode. So I went to pause my episode and knocked over my drink dangerously close to my fucking soundboard, and it spilled everywhere. And then I spent the next 4 minutes toweling up the rum.
It was 2 minutes.
I was cleaning it up, and then I heard her terrible singing on the TV, and I went, "Wait, did you not pause?" And you're like, "No." "Oh God." And then you paused. And then we rewound to the beginning after I finished cleaning up the alcohol spill, and then we again. So oh, look, it says Cassidy, and now it doesn't. How did I predict that? I'm psychic. I've seen this episode before. Yeah, it was something.
And that was the most entertaining that the episode got. I don't know how to...
Except for the Pinky and the Brain reference that you were happy about.
I was so fucking excited about that. We can get to that later. The problem is with this episode, and I just don't even want to call it an episode. I don't know. This is just so it's so painful, and I was so removed the whole time.
I was almost falling asleep. I didn't care.
I don't know why. Okay, let me give you the synopsis that I didn't give you. There's a very famous singer. She has a jealous ex-boyfriend who's he's obsessed with her, and he's trying to regain her favor or whatnot. Mm-hmm. No, he's just trying to regain her. He just wants her as an object, and it's really uncomfortable. Guys, again, don't fucking do this. Mm-hmm. And then he's a pyromaniac, I guess. He makes himself a supervillain in a costume. He runs the pyrotechnics
of the show. And
I guess they don't really talk about it. Also, her manager could have just turned the pyrotechnics off, apparently, but then he doesn't. He just watches it happen. Thank God for Batgirl. Anyway,
good girl.
So you have, oh my God. So you have a pyrotechnic, creepy ex. You have a pop star singer who's probably used to people being obsessed over her. And then he abducts her. And then she gets saved at the end. There's fry sauce. It doesn't really matter.
He also had a dastardly bad guy plan to pour the fry sauce into the sewers of Gotham's, and then he would light it on fire later. Yeah. And it was so whatever, I don't care, that he might as well have not had that part at all. He could have just done the kidnapping of Cassidy and been enough of a bad guy. He didn't also have to have a Scarecrow style.
I'm gonna mess up Gotham.
Yeah, it's why?
But the thing is, and I don't know how. This honestly, my greatest takeaway from this is this inspires me to examine plot in character development. Sincerely. So a little backstory. I've been in my head for about a week about the movie The Lighthouse, which I only just watched this last week.
I have not seen it yet, but it's been on my list since it came out because everybody raved about how good it was.
Okay,
This is correct. Am I correct? This is the Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a little Bry synopsis.
Sure.
I don't want to ruin it for you.
Don't.
That it would be very hard to ruin it for you. Let me say that.
Okay. Did you not like it?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
Cinematographically, is that the right term?
Cinematographically, I think.
Okay. Can you cut that in over my pronunciation?
No.
Okay, good. It was a beautiful movie, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Okay.
I think it was one of those A24 films that just we make you uncomfortable, and that's the film. Da-da-da-da-da-da, bah!
Have you seen Green Room, A24 movie?
I haven't.
It's very good. It was also filmed in smaller bus, so I would recommend checking it out.
Really? Okay.
But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
Patrick
for that
Stewart
recommendation.
and what's his face?
Patrick Stewart went to slightly smaller bus.
He was here, and I didn't get to see him. Will lived here too when it was being filmed, and he was upset that he didn't know that it was happening.
I'm upset.
Anyway, Clancy Brown was also here filming a movie a couple years ago, and I wasn't in town. Anyway, continue.
So my biggest takeaway with The Lighthouse, after 2 days of thinking it, I came to the conclusion of maybe it's okay to have movies that are just about actors interacting. Like the plot, completely inconsequential. And again, I don't want to give any more than that. Like I watched the film. You'll probably take more away from it than I did. But the reality is I didn't enjoy watching it. It was just like, okay, well that's pretty. And the start was these really like, you have like two actors in essentially the whole movie.
Oh, is it one of those where it's just the two of them, the whole movie?
Pretty much.
I'm trying to find this Samuel L. Jackson movie that you're reminding me of that's just him and one other actor in one room the entire movie, and it's like a very good movie because it's just the two actors acting off each other for an hour and a half or whatever.
Okay, so that is a lot of what this is. This might be closer to 2 hours. You know what? Like Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson, like they did a great job acting for the most part. Robert Pattinson's pseudo New England accent really threw me off being from there.
It wasn't accurate or something.
It's just off-putting when people try to do a New England accent. They just don't get it. It's really uncomfortable. That wasn't one of those, by the way.
That was a really good one.
No, it wasn't. Anyway, that aside,
Yeah, continue whatever you were saying.
we're getting way the fuck off of this. I don't even remember what the original point was, other than like The Lighthouse being a movie that is just about the actors and maybe the cinematography, but the plot is inconsequential completely.
But this movie or this episode was supposed to be about the plot, and the plot sucked. And
that's kind of the thing. So I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm sure you're gonna have to edit a lot out of that.
No,
but,
whatever.
In regards to this episode, I feel like the problem is that even in The Lighthouse, while I didn't care about the
Sunset
movie,
Limited is the movie I was thinking.
The Sunset Limited.
Yes, it's Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson. That's it. They're in a room together. It's fucking good. And
I feel like I would watch the shit out of that. Can you, when you're editing this, can you please text me that so I can put it to my list?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll just add it to our list of things to watch together, which grows ever longer. Yeah.
And we never watch anything when we're together other than DCAU
We
stuff.
have to make time for that. I'll come to Big Bus to watch like 3 episodes and then one of these movies on the list or something.
Great.
Yeah.
So my
Anyway.
problem with this episode and tying this whole bullshit in is that I just didn't. Not only was the plot just hair thin, I didn't care about the characters.
Yeah.
And like while watching this, I'm actually like trying to exercise this part of my brain of okay. Sometimes it's about the actors. Sometimes it's about the plot and not the actors, whatever. Like movies can be several different things. Episodes of shows can be several different things. But in this episode, I was actively trying to find something to care about. And I got caught up in my own brain trying to dissect why I don't care about it rather than finding things to care about. Like it was so distractingly bad that I couldn't find myself involved in it.
So much nothing happening that you had that time to sit there and go, why don't I like this? You could have spent 5 minutes or more doing that brain dissection. Like you asked when the building is exploding and it said Mephisto and it had the devil face on it and stuff. And you were like, was there an establishing shot that showed we were in this building? And I was like, yeah, you looked away for 2 seconds or whatever, but you might as well have been staring at the screen and still wouldn't have caught it because it was just like from Cassidy being abducted through the end of the episode, or maybe except for that final scene or whatever, was just like, yeah, all right, she's there and it's gonna. I know it's gonna explode because it's a fire guy, but it explodes even if it's Joker or whatever. So
yeah, you have that one cutaway scene of Batman and Batgirl in his like loft turned warehouse. I'm not sure why that happens.
Looking for the stuff.
Yeah, and like she flips the Frankenstein switch and Batman's like, no, don't. And then everything's on fire. And again, inconsequentially so.
I didn't understand that scene at all because Batman looks up and sees that there's some sort of explosive or something in the ceiling that's wired to the Frankenstein switch. And then Batgirl throws the switch and you see an exterior shot of the building fucking exploding from the ground up. Yeah. I guess they were up top, but still it's like, why would that I'm going to get them with this saw trap where when they flip the switch, it actually explodes a different part of the building that they're in. So they have time to get out of here. And I thought, when it cut back inside, I was like, how did they escape that? There's an explosion immediately, and they're just looking out the window, and I thought, it was at the building across the street? What is the point of this?
It was like the bottom floor explodes, which doesn't affect the structural integrity.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the structural integrity of the building.
Books or HIPAA.
It doesn't affect the structural integrity of the building whatsoever. All it does is cause for a sound, and then flames happen below them.
Yeah, and Batgirl goes, and falls over like 3 different times.
To which Batman, again, throws an explosive out the window, which may be arguably the coolest part, is he makes an explosion happen by throwing a bomb or what the fuck. I don't even know what he threw.
Yeah.
And extinguishes a part of the flame, which means they can get
just
out.
Enough for them to leave. Except that it looked like they could leave at any time because they were just lying on the floor, and I just went, leave! Because I was just like, what are you doing? I can't remember if it wasn't that scene. It was earlier when Batman slow motionly grapple hooks his legs as he's flying. Firefly flies toward the ceiling and says some gotcha catchphrase. He blasts through the only animated piece of glass. And when he's floating out at 2 miles an hour, Batman ropes his feet and he goes, what? And then he gets kicked off, Firefly lightsabers the grappling hook line.
Fire sabers.
Yeah,
which is like kind
lightning bats. Lightning bats. Oh, that's a bad reality quote.
And then Batman falls for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, he falls into the commercial break. By the way,
he was lifted at that rate of speed, maybe 40 feet off the ground, and he falls literally so longer than he was lifted.
Yeah. Somehow the cutting of the rope also caused him to fall diagonally away from the building or something.
Obviously, Firefly was flying at, Mach 26.
Yeah. That's true. So first of all, when he falls, it fades into a commercial break. And it reminded me that when I was showing my wife the entire Batman the Animated Series, 2011, 2012, something like that, we would just have this running gag where almost every episode, at least one of the commercial breaks, if not multiple, would have some kind of Batman's falling off a thing, Batman's about to get crushed, Batman's about to get attacked by a tiger or something. There's always something. And it would
it's some kind of suspense.
Yeah, and it would fade to black and we'd go, oh no, he's probably going to die. Obviously this is not the last episode of Batman. He's gonna be fine or whatever. So it's just that was in my mind of oh no, he's falling. I wonder what he'll do.
Can I have a hot take?
What?
Is it okay? Is there room for more hot takes in 2024?
No, hot Firefly? Yeah. What?
Okay. Somebody falling and then cutting to commercial is so fucking passé. That no one has ever oh no, what's gonna happen? Yeah. Do something psychological. End on Batman trying to figure out a puzzle. Give that kind of passage of time, not a passage of time of somebody falling.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, nobody cares anymore.
Jessica and I in the car just listened to the Dan Reba Riddler's Reform episode. She's half the podcast behind right now. But
she's doing great.
Hi, Jessica,
Jamie.
in the future in the car. Yeah. There was a part where the commercial break was realizing what the Riddler's riddle meant and where he was going to strike or whatever. And Bruce Wayne just looks past the camera at Robin and goes the First National Bank. And then it to commercial. And then we joked with Dan about how that was the least exciting cut to commercial ever.
Okay.
He was he brought it up, I think, where he was and then Act 1 just kind of ends. Whereas that felt sort of this way. And this is this peril of Batman falling. It's he doesn't have a belt full of shit that'll help him immediately or whatever. But then
to be fair, he didn't.
I know. When I was going to say was the second thing was he cuts back and Batman has he has no way to save himself somehow. He reaches and fails to grab a flagpole and then falls further. And he started doing a cool thing that I don't remember, which was he uses his cape to like make sort of a parachute for like 1 second.
He does
and
the
then
like flying squirrel suit thing, so he can fly even more diagonally. And 90 degrees opposed to the way he was falling previously.
Yeah, and then he blasts through one of those Aladdin canopies and then hits the ground. And that was it.
So he falls for 14 minutes. He tried to grab a flagpole, which didn't rip his arms off, nor the flagpole, and he just kind of past it. Do I have one of those in this house?
The door, the door thing.
God damn it. I need to install one of those.
Just for this moment.
I am that level of ADD that I do want one of those
just
door stops. God damn it, dude. I literally, as a 4-year-old, that was all I did for fun.
Yeah. No,
that's a full
good.
365 days.
We drink from the hose and we flick the
Okay, that's the new podcast subtitle.
We flicks the God damn it, there's too many options.
Good luck.
But yeah, I thought, because Batman in the Arkham games and stuff, like just for the sake of your mobility to get around the map faster, you can like jump off a building and his cape kind of becomes like a glider and you can like fly around the town to get to the next spot you want to go to.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember any, like people have asked us over time, like, why didn't Batman ever install one of those in the DCAU in his cape? Like it'd be so much easier, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, first of all, stop asking me questions that I don't, why would I know the answer to this? And secondly, it was like, I don't know, that would have been a good idea. And then he did it for 1 second in this episode, and I thought, oh, I completely forgot he did that. And it's probably because he immediately fucks up and hits the ground and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But in that same realm, he does debut his like armor thing that
Jamie
you as soon as Alfred said like, oh, maybe calls for a change of wardrobe or whatever he says,
smile.
Yeah, and then Batman does the a multiple times reused GIF on Twitter where he goes and smiles, and then when you next see him, you said put on the condom suit or whatever, because it was a very similar situation of like Batman needs to show up to fight a guy who has a specific power that he can't normally go against, and then Batman is there wearing a like Transformers cosplay.
So I'm gonna give you, listener, this is why you're here, okay? If you don't like this next sentence, like unsubscribe or whatever. I don't give a.
Oh my God!
Actually,
go over to the
please,
Yoppie
please,
for all we care.
Please, no.
Oh God, don't.
Okay, as a newbie,
yeah,
the texture of his suit, he had like seemingly metallic like cufflinks,
wrist, yeah,
and spats.
Yeah,
and that's about as far as it goes. You saying that this is armor is the first little bit of info that I have that says that this is maybe armor, because I thought
otherwise
it was
just wearing a black costume.
It's just black. I don't know. It has the same texture as like Firefly's seemingly latex suit.
I think that's also supposed to be some kind of,
is it?
I don't know, heat resistant metal or some shit.
Yeah, there's no way to tell. What is going on in this episode, man?
Yeah, it makes you guess a lot, which I guess is not a good thing to do for your brand new villain, supposed to give a shit about the girl, and it's just like, what's happening? Where are they? What textures? What Jamie, materials are costumes?
This isn't Memento.
Yeah,
which should maybe be the podcast subtitle. I'm having way too much fun with this today. I am like, I'm at this point
I'll
where
just go change it every couple days for the one or the other.
I feel bad because I feel like my ability to be a storyteller, which I don't know, is that what we're doing on this podcast?
Sure. Yeah.
Like my ability to string things together that matter have been completely null and void by the fact that this episode is so it's hard to care.
Yeah,
I don't care about Cassidy. I don't care about Batman and his fucking armor, if that's what it is. I don't care about Firefly in any context whatsoever, other than he's a pervy dude, which we have way too much of in this world. Yeah. And we don't need more of
the amount of incel Batman villains.
He's a fucking, God damn it. I don't, like, we touched base. 15 minutes in, we both wanted to stop watching the episode because it was so inconsequential. And now... Oh wait, where are we?
And
we're 45 minutes into this podcast, and I still don't care.
I'll just mildly spoil, I guess, that like Firefly has, I think, 2 total other appearances in the DCAU.
That is 3 times too many.
2 too many. Oh, okay, 3 too many. Yeah, but he almost feels like a DCAU original character in that, like, oh, we don't have like a fire guy. Like, we better make like a fire guy, and Batman will have it'll be a cool origin episode, and it's different from any of the other guys. He's not a crazy like Joker guy. He's just a pervy weirdo. But no, this is a comic book villain that they're adapting for the show. I thought I forgot to do this segment where I get his origin story. Let's do it real time on the podcast. Firefly, DC.
While you're doing that, I will entertain this notion that when I was doing the full photojournalist thing back in the early 2010s, I spent a lot of time chatting with the people at CAL FIRE in California who dealt with like wildfire situations. And we talked frequently about how so many of these fires were set by pyromaniacs who just would chuck a flare into the woods in dry ass California and set a wildfire.
It's so funny. Yeah.
And so like I had like a personal attachment to the idea of someone who's a pyromaniac and like causing destruction. And even with that, trying to insert that into this episode, and again, to use the word inconsequential for the 15th time in this episode, who knows? I couldn't attach myself to this villain or even Batman's actions or even Batgirl's actions other than the Pinky and the Brain thing we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, we haven't at all.
No,
mentioned it
but
once.
It looks like you have the posture of somebody who has looked up a thing that you're ready to say.
I do. I have that posture.
Please cut me off.
Firefly originally appeared in Detective Comics 184, 1952. His original origin, very brief here. Garfield Lins was a special effects creator, turned to crime, and tried to gain profit by stealing from the wealthy people of Gotham. This is the DC fandom wiki, whatever. When his first crime was stopped by Batman and Robin, he managed to escape thanks to an actual Firefly. Lins then decided to adopt the costumed identity of Firefly and started a series of crimes using his knowledge and special effects. After a few attempts, he was finally captured by Batman and Robin. I do remember reading something at some point about, like, I think that the whole actual Firefly thing was like Batman's chasing him or something, and then, oh, there he is in the distance, and they like run over there, but then it was just a Firefly flying around that he mistook for
Jamie, your
this guy.
Your synopsis right there is way better than this episode. I'm already more involved with that character.
It looks like he got a bit of a revamped origin after Crisis on Infinite Earths, like rewrote all the continuity. He grew up in an orphanage. Garfield was a problem child, which was the reason nobody wanted to adopt him. As an adult, Lins took up arson as a hobby, but it soon turned to an obsession. He believed he could see visions in the flames. Inspired by actual fireflies, he built a suit and became a professional arsonist. Early in his criminal career, Firefly became the protege of Killer Moth. This is another villain that never appears, looking to duplicate the success of crime-fighting duo like Batman and Robin. The alliance fell apart when Killer Moth realized the full extent of Firefly's madness and feared for his well-being.
Wait.
So he's more intimidating than anything.
Can I cut you off there? Rich Fogel, I'm sure you're listening.
Yeah, of course.
Erase this episode and do that
either
one.
of those. Yeah.
I mean,
either of those.
Yeah, like the idea of like losing the guy in seeing an actual Firefly, like that's intriguing. The fact of someone who's like an orphan and he's seeing visions and flames, like that's way more intriguing than I like this girl. I want her as an object. And I don't know, I'm going to set fire to the sewers because that's like the cool guy thing to do.
The new Cape Crusader show, the Firebug, who's essentially Firefly, he when he puts on his goggles, he sees the world on fire for whatever reason. Like all the people are on fire, all the buildings are on fire, whatever.
Interesting.
And like to him, he must like anywhere that's not on fire, he has to like put on fire so that everything's on fire, and it like that's peace to him or whatever. And he's a much more like, I don't know, interesting character in the 5 minutes we know him in that episode. Then it's weird to me that to be clear, I don't care about Firefly in like anything. He's not a very compelling villain. He doesn't really do much cool, but he's in Arkham Knight, I think, video game. He's in the Batman 2004 cartoon.
Really?
He's in a couple of the animated movies, and they're all basically cameo appearances by him, and he does way cooler stuff in all of those than he does in this episode.
Holy shit.
And Rich Fogel, we've talked to before. Like, I really like him and the stuff that he writes, and I think that this could have been a very good episode if he did everything differently, but it was just, it's another in the list that, like, it's a good thing you didn't ask me when the last time I watched this was, because I can't even tell you. It was so long ago, because who gives a shit? I never watched this episode.
That's the thing. Again, like, like, bottom of the bottom. And I'm so sorry for everybody who worked on this, except for the animators. Quick aside, hey, do better. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's always, there's always going to be like a miss every once in a while. And I think it sucks that we've had Growing Pains and Over the Edge and all these like really good shit lately from this show. And then we just have this happened and we'll never remember it. It'll be one that just goes like, we'll finish this podcast episode and we'll like never talk about this episode again.
Bro,
like,
this is going to be my new Clock King. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Like,
that's actually a pretty good like comparison, because I remembered when we watched that episode, we've had it on the bottom 10, and I've always looked at it as like, oh, like compared to Sewer King, Nostromos, all those guys, it's like, was Clock King really that bad? But it felt like it was just an episode that was so boring and didn't need to exist, and was like, had an annoying bad guy and whatever. And like you kept mentioning how poor the voice acting was in this, from Firefly, from Cassidy, from the agent guy, from like everybody was just phoning it in the whole time.
What was that? Like, everyone's like, oh my God, it's this pop singer. We're so excited to see her. And then she starts singing, and then like,
my lips are burning. Like, it's so bad. Yeah.
Like, if you have a voice actor,
I need some chapstick.
If you have a voice actor who's also, Jamie, I can I request you put that clip of you saying I need some chapstick as like your text notification, just so you can like keep up on your lip care
every once in a while. Yeah. I'm doing better.
Attaboy. What the fuck was I saying? I'm so lost.
The voice acting was phoned in.
Oh yeah. If you have a singer, and I understand that some people have problems with tone and like vocal control and all these things, like, while I do have faith that anybody can be a singer, if you're a voice actor and you're asked to like sing something to a song that like may or may not exist, because it was just like, oh, this big singer, you're going to love it, Bruce. It's going to be amazing. And then we get 5 seconds of the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
I have both trivs and an interesting factoids in the cast about what you're talking about.
So let's get to the cast. We're pushing an hour into this podcast. Please, let's do the things we got to do.
Okay. Kevin Conroy as Batman/Bruce Wayne, Tara Cherendoff as Batgirl/Barbara Gordon, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. We have Mark Rolston as Garfield Lynn/Firefly.
By the way, does she actually call him Garf? Because I feel like I heard that a couple times.
I think she just said Gar, but yeah.
Neither of those is okay.
His last name being Linz also has never made sense to me. Is it supposed to be like a play on lens? And is that supposed to be fire related? I don't know.
No.
Anyway, this Mark Rolston, he played Alistair in Supernatural, Lex Luthor in Young Justice and the Injustice video games, Norman Osborn in the recent Spider-Man PlayStation video games. He was Deathstroke in Batman Arkham Knight and Arkham Origins. And then his two big things were he was Boggs Diamond in The Shawshank Redemption, which I assume was one of the prisoners, and Private Drake in Aliens, who's like tall, blonde military man.
When are we going to watch Aliens together, and when are we going to watch Shawshank together? Because Alora also hasn't seen Shawshank Redemption. I feel like that's terrible.
Goodness. She doesn't know of Boggs Diamond. We have Carla DeVito as Cassidy. This is her only DCAU acting credit. As far as I could find, she is not related to Danny DeVito, but she is married to Robbie Benson, who voiced the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, and he was Officer Wilkes in POV, who was the one cop that wasn't Renee Montoya or Harvey Bullock that was in the like lineup of what happened? Tell me the story. She's only ever acted in 17 other things, including Officer Miranda Wright in 20 episodes of Bonkers, Princess Sidisa, Lady Megan, and Elizabeth in The Legend of Prince Valiant, and Mary in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She also appeared in 2 Meatloaf music videos, Paradise by the Dashboard Light and Bat Out of Hell.
My God, that's the greatest.
Yeah, she's also had her own musical career.
Really?
As a cast member in Hair in 1973.
Oh.
Background vocals on various Blue Oyster Cult songs.
What?
And she wrote and performed the song We Are Not Alone for The Breakfast Club, which later appeared in the Communication Studies episode of Community.
Okay, wait.
So she is an actual musician with a music like history and notable things that she's done.
So what the fuck happened in this episode?
We'll get to it.
Okay. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm going to wheel away here.
Robert Sanzo.
Yeah, just say the
take
thing.
Why have you scooted so far away?
I don't know. I'm just so uncomfortable by the idea of her being a talented musician and having such a time apart. I'm confused. I don't want to leave the room, but my headphone cable is only so long.
Your door's closed behind you too, so good luck.
Okay.
David Paymer as Frank. I think that's the agent guy.
Who even cares?
David Paymer was court photographer in Airplane 2.
Oh,
Mel
okay, I care.
in Balto 3 Wings of Change. Fuck this. He's been in tons of other stuff. He's one of those it's that guy faces. Like if you look him up, you'll be like, it's that guy.
What's his name again?
But David Paymer, Paymer. And he was additional voices in Duckman Private
it's
Dick
that
as
guy.
well. Yeah, there you go. We have Tom Wilson as Howlin' Jake. That was the sunglasses. Hey, we got these celebrities in the place in the house guy.
Okay, why did they? I'm sorry. Please continue. Please continue.
He was previously Tony Zuko in Robin's Reckoning and Joey in A Little Piece of Home, who was the bodybuilding. I can take on Superman. I got kryptonite in the place.
Got it.
He's notably Biff in Back to the Future. That's his big thing.
Sweet.
Jane Weedlin as Shannon. She was Alien Communications Officer in Star Trek IV The Voyage Home. She's been a bunch of background characters across various Scooby-Doo series and movies. She was Joan of Arc in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So that's what I know her from.
Also kind of love that.
Yeah. She was the rhythm guitar player for the Go-Go's.
What?
So Vacation, all I ever wanted, those girls.
That's amazing.
So why the fuck? She was the girl that Bruce Wayne was taking to the concert at the start.
Dude, why not? As someone who just saw the Pretenders perform this last week, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah. And then last we have John Mariano as Vincenzo. I don't know who the fuck Vincenzo was.
Is he another one of the celebrities?
Oh, maybe. Previously, additional voices in Heart of Ice.
Was he a polar bear?
Yeah, he was a polar bear, off-screen polar bear. It's very fucking weird that we have the Go-Go's guitar player and Blue Oyster Cult background vocalist, writer of Breakfast Club music.
I feel like people like myself and our dear Robert Sterling should be very excited about this episode. But dear God, if anybody's happy about this, we're going to have words. If anyone loves this episode, we're going to have words.
Pretty quick trivs also that we can get
Okay,
through.
Jamie, give me the trivs.
Batgirl makes reference to Pinky and the Brain. We talked about this.
We didn't really.
It.
Can we talk about it?
Okay.
Can we talk about it?
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
You
do it.
You were very happy.
I was so happy. So there's I honestly I blacked out completely because Batman asks something along the line of what are we gonna do tonight? And Batgirl says same thing we do every night. And
then Batman goes, what?
Yeah, Batman doesn't get it.
Never mind, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so listener, if you
Batman
are not...
doesn't watch Pinky and the Brain that exists inside this universe, I guess.
If you, listener, if you are unfamiliar, I'm going to give you the little, I'm going to help you out because you deserve to know. And also you should just know because it's such a great, terrible show. Pinky and the Brain, there's a catchphrase where Pinky says, usually at the end of the episode, what do you want to do tonight?
This is Bry-splaining.
Yes. I'm also a man, so you can roll into that one if you want. Pinky says, what do you want to do tonight? One of the characters, he's a mouse, says, what do you want to do tonight, Brain? To another mouse. And he says, same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Take over the world.
And Batgirl, she says...
The Thing.
She says the thing.
You were so happy and you shouted that was my favorite reference yet or something of everything that we've had.
I was so excited. As a big fan of Pinky and the Brain, I was so excited to hear her say that. And in the same cadence and everything, same thing we do every night, Batman or whatever.
One, it's also it's weird to think that when she said that, that show was like on the
relevant,
air, like for the first time,
Yeah.
like happening simultaneously.
Very
Yeah.
excited about it.
Frank's fan mail from some flounder line when the letter gets pushed under the door is a quote from the classic 1960s animated series Rocky and Bullwinkle.
What?
I don't know who says
I
that
watched
or why.
Rocky
Sorry,
and
Rich Fogel.
Bullwinkle in the 60s. Why do I not remember
Two
that?
of the names that Cassidy's agent suggests for her new tour are Heatwave and Firestorm, which are two other fire-based DC characters.
Oh.
Those is an Easter egg thing. The character of Howlin' Jake, the DJ guy, was designed as a direct caricature of legendary radio personality Wolfman Jack, who appeared as himself in the film American Graffiti, directed by George Lucas.
Wow. Great episode. Watch it for that.
Yeah, Howlin' Jake. Firefly, one of the few major Batman villains not to be introduced in Batman the Animated Series. The producers had intended to use Firefly in an episode of the original series, but Fox wouldn't allow it due to his pyromaniac nature. Kids be lighting shit on fire, I guess.
Yep.
When the time had come for
new subtitle.
Kids be lighting shit on fire. The rules were less strict, allowing Firefly to be introduced. This next thing is probably the most interesting thing to come from this episode, and it didn't even happen. Rich Fogel initially planned on Cassidy being. Oh, sorry. This is two tribs from now. This thing you'll enjoy though. Rich Fogel initially had planned on Cassidy being a genuine talent. But Bruce Timm decided to make her a bad singer after he became annoyed with a Britney Spears song on the radio.
Wait a minute.
So they hired this musician woman to voice her, and then he's like, no. It'd be so funny if we made fun of Britney Spears instead.
Okay, wait. Can you put some like elevator music on for a quick second?
Yeah, I'll edit it in.
Okay,
Sure.
thank you. Hold on. I just need a second.
Please stand by. Brian is so mad.
So you're telling me that Bruce Timm is like, hey, Britney Spears sucks ass. Let's go ahead and make a bad singer in reference to
On
her.
purpose.
Why do people like Bruce Timm?
Why does this make you so mad about it? This is also one of the like 3 times that he does that in the DCAU where he's
Christ.
like, let's make fun of Britney Spears.
Okay. I need to put like everything out. I have a table of wares on sale. Please feast your eyes and like poke through my refuse. Okay. I hate
Can I
pop
stop
music.
the elevator music now?
Wait, hold on. I need to hear this a little bit again. Okay. You can cut it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're just imagining it.
Yeah,
That's
I can
cool.
hear it, man.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
It was so nice. Yeah.
I hate pop music. I don't listen to pop music. It like actually annoys me. And if I'm in a
You even asked at the start, you're like, is this a Taylor Swift joke or something? Like, she's supposed to be like Taylor Swift? Yeah.
So, I like if I'm in a space where I'm listening to pop music, I try to focus on like different elements of the song. Like I imagine like if there's like an actual drummer, like what they were doing and like where the microphones might have been placed for the drum kit. If there's a guitarist, I try to imagine like where they're on the fretboard. If there's like a producer, I'm trying to imagine like what software they were using to make whatever programming thing they were making. Like, like I try to like specifically not listen to the pop song because I hate it. That being said, while I don't really like Britney Spears' music except for Toxic, which I like strangely really enjoy.
That's a good song.
Britney Spears isn't a bad singer. She doesn't sing out of key. She just does pop music.
I mean, she's like a pretty early example of like helped greatly by auto-tune. Like whenever you get, there's recordings of like her actual whatever the microphone's picking up when she does concerts, and it's just terrible.
Well,
but in they're also just pushing the Cassidy thing is like a purposeful exaggeration of that or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, and as somebody who like has admittedly reached out to find that like whoever was the sound guy that recorded like Mariah Carey singing live without auto-tune and how bad that was, like as someone who's like searched that out because I do find that funny and I fucking shouldn't.
You're trying to dance and sing at the same time and you can't. What
That's
an
the
idiot.
thing. So as someone who's done musical theater, like I do understand that it like is different than singing in a theater or in a studio. As someone
in a
who
recording
has
studio,
sung in a recording studio myself.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Like if she was that like it's easy to find somebody who can sing a little bit. Like I don't think Britney Spears is that bad. Granted,
Sure.
I think her social media presence of the last 2 years has been like
let's not talk about that.
But like
there's a lot to unpack there.
I don't feel like wrapping myself in a curtain and saying leave Britney alone. But that being said, that's really fucking shitty of Bruce Timm to be like calling her out in that way and trying to like
maybe
make
that's
fun
what
of her.
that's what that guy's video was about. It was Bruce Timm.
Maybe.
Leave her alone.
Oh my God. Leave Britney alone. And then you cut in you saying Bruce Timm and then like play the video.
Chris Crocker.
Chris
That's what
Crocker,
it was.
there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the actual thing I thought was interesting in the tribs that I jumped ahead on was noting Cassidy's display of trauma at the end of the episode. Fogel has stated in an interview with the Watchtower Database that he wanted to springboard off of that to make her the second Firefly, an idea that ultimately didn't come to fruition because the show was short and stopped before he could do that.
Got it.
So it's like, if all of this was a setup for Cassidy to become
Way better.
Firefly supervillain,
better.
cool.
Yeah.
But it never happened, so
Shit.
then this episode just gets to be what it is. Yeah.
Rich, do you remember when I said that thing earlier in the episode? Null and void.
You've said a lot of things.
I mean, specifically to Rich.
Yeah.
That sounds more interesting. Also, like, holy fuck, playing into trauma as like.
Well, I mean, that's automatically a way more interesting, like, backstory for Firefly 2 or whatever is.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, oh, this whole ordeal she went through, and now she has a fire phobia, and it's, twisted her brain and blah, 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 blah. And the trauma thing. But then it's much more interesting than, like, guy who has a boner and is mad.
New subtitle.
So, like, well, we did
I agree,
the two
though.
subtitles, but yeah.
What is
Yeah.
the subtitle actually going to be?
Who knows, man? I'll pick one, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Someone will see it.
You should just do one of those like YouTube community.
Oh, yeah, vote on the subtitle.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Poll?
Poll. God damn
Yeah.
it. Yes, that.
Pokemon go to the polls. Let's do keen effects for this episode. Was there any?
No. Move on.
Oh, no, there was that one
No, there
shot
wasn't.
where we see the reflection of him pointing the gun in his eyes
you're
and
right.
then Batman punches
You're
him.
right.
That
The
was the keenest
entire
thing.
animation budget went to that
Yeah.
fucking 12 frames.
I was sitting there doing the like Obama, not bad face. And then you went like, oh, that was a cool shot. And that was the only positive thing besides Pinky in the Brain that we said about the whole episode.
Since I was talking over it, do you want to go into more detail or do you want to just let it fall by the wayside?
People know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There was a reflection and it was cool. But though, speaking of reflections, then we also had Cassidy's reflection being frozen while she moved, which she has like a giant mirror wall by her front door for some reason. And I was about to crack a joke of like, how did they film that without getting the cameraman's reflection? And then as soon as I like opened my mouth to say that, you just went like, she moved, but her reflection didn't. So I'm like, yeah, God damn it.
I don't think you heard because I was being too loud and whiskey ridden at that moment.
Yeah.
But that was actually something that Laura called out, where she's just like, we're watching and you see, and anytime I do have sympathy for animators animating somebody in front of a mirror. That's so much more complex than any other. Like,
you have to animate them twice. Yeah.
And like with
From
more of an
reverse
exaggeration
angle,
on
yeah.
3D space. Like that's like way more complex. That being said, we got to see Cassidy walk in front of a mirror. Her reflection stopped, but she continued to move. And like, fuck that shit.
Yep. Well, I don't think we can do CGI or CG-nay because there did not appear to be any in this episode.
Unless
thank
it was
God.
that part.
Unless it was that good, which it wasn't. Wouldn't have been.
Nope.
Which Batman's usefulness button will I press this time? Find out right now.
What did Batman do? Did he get a 10 or only a 2?
2.
I really gotta know, tell me now, what is Batman's usefulness? Now.
I mean, that's so good.
Real low. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's real low because, he saved the girl, but
yeah.
I hated it.
I know that's where I'm at. It's like I'm trying to give an honest opinion about like what. Okay, Jimmy, let's put in some work. What did he actually do?
He didn't save Cassidy at the start. That was Batgirl.
Correct.
He didn't find out where his hideout was. That was Batgirl.
Correct.
He barely saved her at the end because his fire suit barely protected him against the fire.
Also, what the fuck was the point? He wasn't trying to dodge. He was just getting hit by this grenade pistol or whatever.
Yeah.
Helldivers, TM.
You were like, this is Helldivers the whole time. He's got a grenade pistol.
Just
There's
all
fire
flame.
tornadoes.
There's fire everywhere. There's grenade pistols. It's Helldivers. Yeah. Where's Coop?
Batman I should just edit the TikTok. Should be Batman arriving or jumping through the ceiling or whatever he does to get in there, and then you just hear
please, you can make this a 6-second TikTok and it'll do very well.
Yes,
and just
good,
say like
yeah.
the description can just be hashtag for democracy. It'll do very well.
Mephisto divers. Well, that's when Batman was like, I bet I know where she is, and holds up the book of matches that says Mephisto, and I just went, in hell. She's in hell. Like, he's already killed her. I guess that was his plan, was to escape town with her kidnapped.
To what?
And that's
To
why
what
he was
end?
Gonna blow it. Yeah, why? Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway,
fuck this. I'm giving Batman a 1. Yeah. Who gives a shit about this episode out of 10?
Okay. I'll give him a 1.3. Is that Mr. Freeze's gun? Why does Batman have a gun out of...
Oh my God, that's right! He has a fucking gun! I think it's 8:48. Maybe I should close my window if I'm just screaming that loud, but like...
Why the fuck does he have a gun?
Why does he have a gun?
I'm
He's
calling the
against
police.
guns,
Yeah.
but now he's got armor and a gun. What the fuck?
He used the gun one time to shoot like a smoke bomb.
Is that what
he
it was?
just flew away.
Is that what
at Firefly, and then he like dropped it or got shot out of his hand or something. So, but what's interesting is like, so I've talked before about like my introduction to this era of the DCAU was like the official website for these two shows, TNBA and S-Test,
Right.
where I printed out every page, put it in a
Right.
big binder, I'd flip through it all
Showed
the
it to
time.
your grandma or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She didn't give a shit. One of the, you remember?
I do remember. I remember everything.
So one of the Batman page has like images of Batman, Bruce Wayne, the like jetpack glider thing that he has in World's Finest,
Okay.
and then this fireproof bat suit. And it when he's in the like drawing of it, it's this cool, sleek black. You said like this Batman is Beyond, because it is very similar to the Batman Beyond costume.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has a gun in his hand, and there's no explanation in the biography for what the fuck that is, but it's like, okay. So I spent a long time not having seen this episode going like, what is that for?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he have a gun?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the episode. Oh, he had a gun for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Why give it to him at all if he did? Yeah, he didn't do anything with it. I don't know. Where's Clayface?
It doesn't matter.
Also, I can hear the crickets outside your window, so
Why
I'm
is
sure
this
that's making the
microphone so
recording.
sensitive?
I don't know.
Hold on. Here. Hold on. I'm going to be... wait a second.
Uh-huh. Oh, my God.
I just wanted to give you that soundbite in case you needed it.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
That's Batman's using a sound. You just like cut to the crickets.
Yeah, Batman's using... Where's Clayface?
It doesn't matter.
cares?
Continue.
He was the fry sauce.
Sure. Why not? Doesn't fucking matter.
Books or hip hop?
Doesn't matter.
Books.
He's going to jail.
Top 10.
No. But
Bottom 10.
I
Bottom
think
10.
we can agree.
Yeah, we can finally do it. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's been a while. We're at the bottom 15.
I'm going to put it in a random spot. I'll put it next to Clock King.
Wait. Whoa.
There's no order to this.
I know.
There's no order to this.
Can you please put it at number 1 though?
Okay, sure. That means it's the best. Torch song.
Oh, that's right. Because we got Dude, Where's My Batmobile in the Hell category?
Hell, Mephisto. Yeah.
Should we
I'm going
put
to change
this?
it to Mephisto.
Okay. So, dear listener, if you are privy enough, if you're keen enough for this, our bottom, this 9 needs to be 16.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
For 16.
For sex. No, leave the F.
Okay, I will.
For sex.
Our bottom
17.
for 16, thanks to this. Number
Yeah.
1, fucking Torch song. Screw that
Yeah.
shit. 2, Prophecy of Doom. 3, I've got
Can you,
Batman.
hang on. When you're listing these, can you remember what these are? What's Prophecy of Doom?
No. 3.
That's tell me. You have to try.
I've got Batman. Prophecy of Doom.
That's the Nostromo's psychic man.
Oh, okay. Fucking big paper mache planets falling from the ceiling.
Yes.
3, I've got Batman in my basement. And we don't need to talk about that one. 4, the last laugh, where there's the Wait, hold on. Last laugh is that's not the fish one.
No, that's the laughing fish.
Which one is the
last laugh? Is the taco barge with Captain Clown.
Okay, my bad. Number 4, Captain Clown. Number 5, the Prometheon, where we have shit. That's not Maxi
Superman,
Zeus, right?
Superman fights a giant rock man from space. Who was a duct taped to an asteroid.
Straight on, put that one out of my memory.
You don't remember this at all?
Literally not at all. I couldn't remember. Episode 6, or bottom 15, number 6, Clock King doesn't need a description whatsoever. Number 7, Be a Clown. Also, arguably doesn't need a description.
What? Well, you tell me.
We killed Captain Clown, right? No.
We already did that one. That's the last laugh.
That's the last laugh. Holy shit. Wait, what's
Be a Clown is Jordan Hill trying to be a clown with Joker. He's bigger than a truck. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Wait, isn't that the... Well, no, I guess that's probably Be a Clown.
That's what we're talking about? Uh-huh.
Shit. Wait a minute.
How drunk are you? What the fuck's going on?
Not that drunk. Just bad on memory. Number 8, Cat in the Claw Part 2, Falling Through the Ice, correct?
No, that's the Fire Hand.
Was the
Cat in the Claw Part 2 was Batman and Catwoman fighting Red Claw, and a truck has a fire hand.
Which is the Falling Through the Ice cat?
That's Cat Scratch Fever, which is number 12.
Fucking hell. It's been a very long time. I've seen this episode once. I'm very sorry. We're on episode 134?
134, yeah. Get with it.
Holy shit.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. This is torture.
That's the train PTSD. Little boys that are mob bosses now have train PTSD.
Holy shit. I completely forgot about that episode.
Yeah, me too.
Number 10. What is Target? I also don't remember Target.
Target is the first Luminous episode before he's actually luminous, where he's putting Lois Lane through a bunch of saw traps and an elevator shoots out the top of the Daily Planet.
Holy fucking shit. I forgot about that one too.
I'm helping.
Mad as the Hatter. Is that the chess pieces one?
No.
God damn it, Jamie. I don't remember any of these.
Maybe it is. Mad as the Hatter is the debut Mad Hatter episode. And yeah, they are in a big chess board. So yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
That there's certain things that stick out to me as like, why the fuck did they do that? Cat Scratch Fever, Falling Through the Ice. I'm very sorry.
Yes.
Episode 13, Day of the Samurai. God, do I give a synopsis of this?
What? Just tell me that you just prove to me you remember what the episode is. That's all I'm asking for.
Well, the problem is now at this point in time, I failed so badly that I don't feel confident in giving any guess whatsoever.
Okay. This is the second ninja episode where he dies in a volcano.
I was gonna say the volcano episode. That makes me really unhappy.
Sure. All right. Well, I'll give you a shot on the next one.
Is heavy metal?
You got it. You got it.
It's Lobo.
No. You thought it would be Lobo in your prediction. It's the Steel episode.
Okay. The most embarrassing mission is that I was like, it's the Steel episode. And I'm like, no, it wasn't that bad, was it? I just remember it being like, not great.
No, it was pretty bad. Yeah, that's why it's here.
Fucking hell. God damn it. Underdwellers. Fucking Sewer King.
Yes.
The Terrible Trio. What was the Terrible Trio?
Bruce Wayne's like college buddies in animal masks that were like, oh, we shoot skeet.
Holy shit, you're right.
Actually, I don't think they were Bruce Wayne's college friends. I think I made that mistake in the first time we watched it.
It doesn't matter. They were the guys in the animal masks that like came forward to like wreak some havoc, but all it was we were animal masks and we're gonna like intimidate people.
We're rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the 16 in our bottom Fasex 17. I think, God, this has gone off the rails a little bit. I think we've talked about at the end of this podcast, watching select episodes of the bottom, whatever it is at that point. Mm-hmm. Probably not all of them because there's going to be way too many. Yeah. But also doing some sort of drinking game with that or whatever.
Okay.
I think that'll be pretty fun. We'll also watch the top episodes just to feel better about ourselves or something, but this is quite the ordeal already, just looking at this list of like, oh my god.
maybe the worst 5.
Like obviously Sewer King's gonna be on there.
Yes.
maybe Promethean, since you can't even remember it at all. You really don't remember a big rock man duct taped to an asteroid and then Superman fought it in Metropolis.
I don't. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to insult anyone or my past self, but like, to be fair, 133 is not an insignificant amount of episodes. That's like quadruple the amount of Avatar, which I could probably remember 3/4 of.
At least the good one, like the really good ones, have stuck with you. Like that's all I care about, really.
So this is my thought, and I would love to put this on now as a like potential thing that we do.
Put on Torch Song. We're gonna watch Torch Song again. Here we go.
Probably
immediately.
Probably. Can we make this like, because we've talked about doing a watch along, we've talked about doing some way to like involve people.
Yeah.
What if we do some
join us for that?
What if we do some kind of live event where we binge like 5 episodes, like the 5 worst episodes we can think of, and we either invite, like, maybe it's just like Watchtower Patreons, maybe it's just people who have like donated to our coffee account, which I realize would be a lot of homework to try to figure out who's done that.
Sure.
Maybe we just open up to the general public. I don't know. I'm going to leave that to you because you're the business fella in this relationship. Yeah. Look at that fucking haircut and that mustache. You're obviously the business savvy one.
Look at this Goonies shirt.
Look at the Goonies shirt.
I'm always gooning.
Orange adjacent colored shirt. I'm wearing white today. I'm a freak.
We'll discuss it.
Okay. We'll discuss it. Listener, comment in below and send us like,
what do you want us to do?
$100 on coffee. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you send us $100, you can join us for the thing, obviously. While we're in the top 10
Also,
segments,
wait. Hold on. Dear God. Justin, don't send us another $100. Please.
Oh God. Please.
I love you, buddy. I'm sorry. I haven't been in touch.
We don't deserve it. While we're in the top 10 segment, 2 quick things. One, we forgot to ask what John Trumbull's ranking would be for Over the Edge. I messaged him. He said it would be number 3. So I'm going to put it at number 3. There it is.
Thank you.
And then do we want to put, so you've had some time to think about it.
Yes.
But we both put Over the Edge at number 3, I think, on New Batman Adventures. Do we want to put it on the Yop 10?
Okay.
Well, we have individual Yop 10s. It's not like the bottom 10 where it has to be unanimous. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I probably will, but you can tell me what you...
This, I think, is the perfect situation for the depiction of the Yop 10, not just being a clone of the top 10 with a little bit of manipulation in there. Because of the ending, and the whole thing being a dream, absolutely not Yop 10.
Sure. Okay. I got it. I get it.
Cool. Thank you.
I want to put it on there, but I'm looking at, so my Yop 10 in reverse, Bullet for Bullock is just going to stay on there as an honorary number 11 forever, I think. But I've got Second Chance, Ghost in the Machine, Almost Got Him, Heart of Ice, Two-Face Part 1, On Leather Wings, of course, Growing Pains, The Late Mr. Kent, Robin's Reckoning Part 1, World's Finest Parts 1 to 3. I think I'm going to put it...
It's weird how different our Yop 10s are.
I know. I think I'm going to put it at number 5. Because other than the ending, which I do find annoying but not as annoying as you, I think it's one of the best episodes.
Okay.
I'm putting it above On Leather Wings, wouldn't you say? And that kicks off Second Chance, which was the Two-Face final btas episode.
Heartfelt.
Goodbye, Second Chance. I'm so sorry. That means that Ghost in the Machine is next to be kicked off my Up 10, which feels right. I did really like that episode, but I think it being at the bottom of this, like...
Which one was Ghost in the Machine?
Brainiac being rebuilt in LexCorp basement, and Lex Luthor is not fed and breathing and whatever. Yeah.
Hardcore.
Okay.
Not top 10 for me.
Yeah. That yop. That one small extra yop. Put it
Tell me when the song is over.
What we drop.
Don't interrupt the song.
Oh yeah, those.
Into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now
Jamie's drinking rum.
Too bad we're all.
At least I'm not drinking rum.
Just drinking rum.
Do you need to pee? Is that what you were going to pause me for?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny. Like we don't do pee breaks every episode, but like
just some.
I feel like it's a good 30 to 40%.
It's because we've been drinking soda pop and orange juice
and water, and I also had a sparkling water before the podcast.
Cool.
I'm hydrated as hell.
I like that about you.
I like you.
Thank you. You should go pee now in
Okay.
the toilet and not in your pants. Yeah.
A few inches later.
Just taking his damn time. There he is. What, did you have to pee in a fucking, like, milk truck of pee? What did you do? It took like 2 years.
You say elk truck?
Milk truck.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
You know, a truck full of elks that are all simultaneously peeing, and that's how much pee Brian peed just now.
I kind of did. That was like a lot of pee. It was one of those ones where I almost started giggling because it was a lot of pee.
It took the evacuation, come. That, like one of those Austin Powers things.
It was that. But then Laura gave me a bite of the dinner that she made, and it's really fucking good. So let's do this fucking mail.
Okay. Yeah, I have Domino's pizza to eat after this. It's not going to be as good as that at all. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can send a punctuated email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. But please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian.
Please.
That would be really mean for you to do. No one ever spoils anything like saying that Firefly only appears 2 more times, anything like that.
I'll put your, if you do, I'll put your comment in the bottom.
Yeah.
17.
Oh my God, that would be such a dunk on that person.
Yeah.
We have Euphonium Star Over the Damage Report.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Suit Display Case, Walkway Railing Doorway, Batmobile, Police Boat, Cop Car, Wayne Manor Door, Nightwing Suit, Rooftop Door, Walls, Marquee Sign, Bat Signal, Bane's Venom Tube. And then all of that is crossed out, and it says, since dream damage does not count, this makes it our first ever no damage reports.
Oh my God.
I mean, I guess
Yeah, that's
Barbara's
a fair point.
psyche or something.
Oh my God. Wow, that's heavy.
Good stuff. Wishbone says the whole story of being a dream definitely does bug me a bit. I think the episode, this is, by the way, this is comments on last episode, Over the Edge, where I am not a sharp cookie. I think the episode may benefit from being rewatched casually rather than analyzing it for a podcast while still riding the wave of shock. Once you've already seen the episode, you can return to it at a whim and just enjoy it for what it is. I will say this, though. I think it was a big mistake making the wink that Gordon gives so tricky to spot. You both admitted to missing it, and I've never noticed it before either. That's not the sort of thing you want to passively toss out in a wide shot. Yeah. Dylan Pollock, Torch Song, or 5,000 Candles in the Wind for Batman, or Baby You're a Firework, or Gotham Inferno, Burn Baby Burn.
It's time for the thoughts of the week from Dylan Pollock on Torch Song, or this guy almost had a movie with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really wish I could have seen it. Damn you, Zaslav. Firefly makes sense also as a villain name. Like, it works for his aesthetic and what he does and everything. But it's just very hard to say out loud and be taken seriously when he's like, the name's Firefly. You're like, okay. Was Lightning Bug not available? Now I wish Livewire was called Lightning Bug. Anyway, why didn't this man go into inventing, considering he makes a jetpack and a fire lightsaber thing?
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm getting too wrapped up in Gar. Also, the end of this episode is very similar to the end of the movie Misery. Spoilers for a 30-year-old movie. When James Caan is literally in a restaurant with, I believe, his publishing agent, and he still sees Kathy Bates' face wherever he goes. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, time for the question of the week. James' favorite part.
It is!
What musician would you kidnap, but in like a nice way, a cool way? Like, hey, we're just hanging out, but you have to do it.
Teacher.
And I can pick your brain for
Teacher.
a bit, but not in a crazy way.
Teacher,
You know what I'm saying?
teacher,
Who's it gonna
teacher.
be?
Look, yes.
I got an answer.
What?
I got an answer. Tom Waits.
Go. Okay. Tim Minchin.
Oh, fuck yeah. Tim Minchin would be great too. But like Tom Waits, I have never, ever wanted to meet or just have a conversation with anybody who's anywhere on the fame spectrum more than Tom Waits. Fucking hell.
You gotta bash his ankle bones in with a hammer like in Misery?
No, not a Misery thing.
Oh,
I just like,
whoops.
I like legitimately want to like serve the guy tea and be like, dude, you want to talk about like hot air balloons or whatever? Like, I don't even care. I just want to like chat with the
Sure,
guy.
can you unwrap me from this pipe before? Can you stop making fry sauce?
Shut the fuck up, Tom.
Kyle. The new Batman Adventures Torch Song, Kyle.
Whoa.
What?
Kyle?
Kyle.
Okay.
He started replying to our Twitter posts of each podcast episode with how many times Kyle was said in that specific episode.
Kyle.
Hola, Jamie and Bri. After
Hola,
watching Over the Edge,
Kyle.
I knew that Brian would hate the Dallas-style ending to the episode.
Oh,
the commentary
you're
did come
good.
up a couple of times. James, would you show Brian all the episodes that have commentary after if you had the time? Talk to you later, Yoppie dudes. Yeah, I think you can do that if you want to, things with you, because
the commentaries have some pretty cool, interesting stuff, but most of the time that winds up in trivs, and it's just kind of interesting to just hear them talking about their work or whatever. But
the commentary thing is something that like I have in the past, like before streaming was really a thing, because I'm that old.
Oh my
before
gosh,
streaming was really a thing.
What an old person.
You know, you
older than like 10 years.
It wasn't uncommon for people to have their DVD collections and the DVDs that you would watch more than others. And if they had special features like, you know, director commentary or whatever, you'd like tend to listen to them while doing other things. And so I've listened to my fair share. And my girlfriend and I were talking about director commentary the other day, and we decided that as we're working our way through Parks and Rec.
Oh, are you finally doing that?
Yeah. I bought
good.
I bought the DVD box set. We started watching an episode with director's commentary after watching it the first time through, and I promptly fell asleep maybe 5 minutes into the episode.
I mean, if you'd already seen the episode, almost every DCAU director commentary track, they're like 5 minutes in and they'll just go like, by the way, if you're watching this for the first time with this, like, this is no way to watch the episode. Please stop doing that or whatever. Like, they repeatedly do that. So
that's good. Yeah. That's good news.
Kyle also had an attached MP3, and here it is.
Torch Song is an episode.
Kyle? Was it Kyle?
Kyle. Yeah.
Kyle.
Torch Song is an episode I think I'd only seen once or twice before this. What's scary about Garfield/Firefly is he's a guy who's told no/broken up with, and then decides to turn into a supervillain all about fire. I get he was a pyrotechnic technician, but regardless, that is some real bad, scary stuff coming from him.
Thanks, Kyle.
What I'd be curious to hear from you guys is, what's the first concert you ever went to? For me, it was the Pokemon live musical, which I went to see in Toronto, and it was really cool. They threw stuffed Pokeballs into the audience, from what I remember. I'm curious, what was it for you guys?
That's really cool.
Kyle, why the fuck are you so cool, man?
Come on, Kyle.
God damn it.
Film Realists podcast. What the fuck?
Yeah, my first concert was when they first debuted the American National Anthem. It was like 78.
Oh, God damn it. I believed you for a split second. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was that recent.
My first concert?
Whenever anyone asks me this, which is for some reason common, my brain always goes to, I was like 5 years old and there was some kind of like musical puppet show that I was brought to, and I have no memory of who it was, any of the songs, anything like that, but I can vividly see the stage and the performance happening and all this stuff, but I have no fucking idea what that was. The first like legitimate one was a Kelly Clarkson concert in like 2004 or something like that.
Oh my God.
She had just come off of winning American Idol a couple of years before that and was very popular, and I had all her albums and blah blah blah.
Dude, I had no idea that we couldn't be friends after this episode. That's crazy.
That's why Bruce Timm hated Kelly Clarkson, so he just made Cassidy sing bad, you know.
Okay, I have two answers for this, and I need to go to the internet for a quick second so you could press the
1 moment, please.
I got it.
Thank you. Oh my God. Okay, there is some internet presence. What the fuck? For real?
What?
Can you listen to the music anywhere? All right. My first concert that I can ever remember is a 2-part, and there's some like trauma involved in this.
Make it quick, Brian.
I'm trying. I ripped the shit out of my foot on our deck, and I had the world's largest splinter in my heel. I was like 4 or 5 or maybe 6 years old. I still have a scar from, by the way. I'll show you sometime, Jamie. We'll put my feet on WikiFeet or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. watchtowerdatabase.com/feet. Whoops, it exists now. No.
But my gym teacher through like my entire like 1st through 8th grade was a fella named Percy Hill. And he's an amazing human. Dear God, if you ever have the chance to meet a fella named Percy Hill, I think he's a principal somewhere in New Hampshire still.
Okay.
Meet the guy. This is all related. His son started a band, and maybe he was the guitarist or bass player or something. I was like 5, 6, maybe 7 or 8. And they started a band. They just took his name, Percy Hill. And it was like jam band, New Hampshire stuff, late 90s, whatever. The night after that was like, hey, you know what? Your foot, you're gonna forget about your foot injury because we're gonna go see this live show, and it was somewhere in some town in New Hampshire, like on a town green or whatever. That's the first memory I have of going to a concert.
Okay, yeah, similar to my puppet show shit. Yeah.
There you go. My first real concert, and I think I went to some others before this.
Kelly Clarkson?
Yeah, no. It was a metal show that was an offshoot of the Big Day, offshoot of Ozfest called Big Day Out or Big Day Off or something like that. And it was Mudvayne and Slipknot and Disturbed and Linkin Park and Spineshank and probably some others. It was my first like real big concert ever, and that will stick in my mind forever, including the fact that Linkin Park fucked up so bad. This is like at the start of their first album that they stopped playing in the middle of a song. Well, half of the band stopped playing in the middle of a song. The other half of the band continued and then apologize to the audience and then start the song over again. And for at least a decade, I thought Linkin Park was the worst band ever. And now I super appreciate their recorded stuff, but I still question their ability to play a live show.
Even 30 years later or whatever.
Yeah. 40, 50, 60, 70,
like
80,
that,
90, 100 years later.
This is from LexCorp Cares, if you were interested.
I'm so
it's
interested.
Called Gotham Fire Safety. Hi there. In place of a good old-fashioned corporate propaganda, I wanted to reach out to express my concerns about Gotham's upsettingly relaxed approach to fire safety. I've attached a recording of a conversation I had with a Gothamite at the Cassidy show below. The tickets were $67 cheaper in Gotham. I don't know how much longer I can stay in this city. Sent from the carnivorous plant wing of the Botanical Garden located between a clown-themed casino and the Second National Bank. Do these people want to die?
The venue's on fire. Should we be like concerned about that or anything? Or
No, not if it's a good band.
is this normal for a venue in Gotham?
Oh yeah. This is what we do at every single concert we have around here.
I hate this place.
You'll get to love it.
That's it. Great. Thank you for sharing that with us. It gets us some insight into your real life and,
okay,
not just
wait.
when you have to LexCorp stuff.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Was that recorded with the music added in secondarily, or was
playing
that
on speakers in the background?
or was that actually recorded like out in a club somewhere? I need to know.
Oh, yeah. The unknown. We all have some trouble yapping sometimes. Oh, it's the sound effect thing.
Welcome back, yappers.
Thank
riddle
you.
me this, riddle me that. The first question you asked was if she wore a hat.
Oh, yeah.
James, last time you guessed as if we were playing Clue. You said, and I quote, Summer Gleason in the questionable-looking weight room with the Hermes-looking statue using a microphone. Lucky for you, all of this is wrong.
Oh, cool.
If you were actually playing Clue, you'd be dead and out of the game.
Hell yeah.
But to answer your actual questions from last week, James, the location has nothing to do with the aforementioned ninja.
Okay.
Brian asked if the location was in the east of Gotham. If I had to guess, it'd be in the north or midtown sections of the Gotham Islands.
Oh.
The hardest part about this game is going to be Brian having to try and remember all the information.
Yes.
But I wish you all the best of luck. You should be able to narrow some things down now. Till next time, yappers.
Catwoman. No cape, lady, no hat. Catwoman. And she is in Gotham somewhere. Is it an abandoned place?
All of Gotham is abandoned.
Yeah, okay.
You'd be better off to ask if it was
is it not abandoned?
If it was, I was gonna say, is it in a like an abandoned theme park?
Is it in a place where merriment occurs? Is it Catwoman?
Questions.
No, those are new questions. True score, torch song, or another villain using the elements in his ex-girlfriend, the singer. Ayo's Strawberry Jam and Peanut Butter Brian. Torch song feels like Peanut Butter Brian. Torch song feels a little weird within the TMBA episodes. It's not bad, yes it is, but it's not really good. No, it's not. The Batman and Batgirl stuff is rather subpar, and the villain is just, well, a creep. Here's what was said. Last time we had a famous celebrity, they turned into a living electricity. Good on her, bro. Honestly, handled that pretty well. Gave him severance and everything. She sucks at singing, though. Bruce, don't say good girl like that to her. That's weird as fuck. Yeah, that was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
I know who daddy is. I love how he just floats there. That's cool. Fire sword, fire sword, fire sword. Mephisto confirmed. It's a Marvel villain that it's like a meme to assume he'll be the bad guy in the next MCU movie.
Mephisto?
Yeah, he's like the devil, I think, in Marvel. I wonder why there's smoke there. Perhaps the villain who uses fire had arrived. I love how little his wings are. In Two-Face Part 1 voice, Batgirl, no. I developed this gel. Bitch, that's just lava in video games. That's fry sauce. That gel moved at 0.5 speed. Yeah, I fucking hated the fry sauce dripping into what's obviously supposed to be like slides that go directly like for the fry sauce, and it just drips everywhere instead. Also, you told me to remind you to talk about the blowtorch.
Fucking hell. Okay, do you want to press the "That's not how that works" button now or later?
That's not how that works.
Oxyacetylene torches do not require welding glasses. It's kind of bright, and you might do well to have like a tinted mask or something like that, but he puts on what is clearly a welding mask for something that does not require a welding mask.
AKA like when it does the big super bright sparkies, you need one, but when it's just like a flame, you don't need one.
Yeah. Welding itself, you will burn your irises out if you don't have a welding mask. Oxyacetylene is just like a very bright flame, and you know what? Sunglasses would be probably enough.
Till next time, Brody sent on my canister of deluxe melt through anything goop. To find out more, visit, oh shit, oh fuck, it's coming through the container. Oh God, it's on my hands and my feet. Oh God.
Wait. And by melt through anything goop, of course you mean a block of ice. As you said, Jamie, the most, what did you say? The most like unmeltable
fire
object?
Resistant, unmeltable material known to man. Ice.
Fucking hell.
What a good way to show off your weapon, yeah. Dino-faced individual. Hench reviews. I'm back, bitches, it says.
Welcome back.
Turns out Dr. K side is dark side. Who could have seen that coming?
Hey there, George Harrison and Brian Eno. It's been a while since we've talked. It's me,
it has.
Brian James McPollock, the founder and former president of Hench Reviews. It's been a while. And a part of that is because, it turns out I sold the website to Apocalypse.
Oh, no.
I've been here for a few months, and it's been great, aside from the fact that they took my hands. I kind of needed those. But, hopefully you guys hear this and know that I'm still alive. You guys cared about that, right?
Yeah, yes. Of course.
Anyways, if you guys know anybody that could help me... that would be really helpful. I'll see if I can run the site remotely without hands. Thank you, and hopefully Hench Reviews will continue after this.
Oh, I heard a mouse click at the end there. How'd you do that without hands? Are you dino-handed as well, or just faced? Because if they just took your little stupid dino hands, then like, who cares, man? You need those anyway.
Wow, Jamie. Wow.
Sorry.
It's a very bold assumption of you.
Yeah. This is from Lego Island 2, Yopton's log number 86. Woof, almost forgot to record the log. Anywho, you fellas just watched Torch Song, also known as Incel-Induced PTSD. I'm sure there's good things to the episode, but I'm a bit hard-pressed to recall anything particularly special.
You're doing right.
Fine.
Yopton's log, number 86. This day I awoke with quite a start. I went for my coat, and it seemed a full arm of roaches was holding the sleeve up towards me. A more paranoid man might have thought that there was an intruder, but that would be a load of bullock. I went to the top deck, sipping a nice brew with beans from the Dunko Donuts we passed some nights ago, and before I even finished my first cup of joe, my horizon was utterly covered in fog. As I saw a few Union Jacks, and panicked with fear that the British were coming, I heard the tea-filled call of yacht mate Alex Robson and realized my ship had somehow made landfall in goddamned London. I dropped anchor for the moment as I refused to sail in this goddamn fog, but a random thought touched my lips. Was it books or hip-hop? Or was it Bond and Batman?
I guess that means you're through Batman the Animated Series now with the logs. That's quite the achievement. Thanks for being there. There and being here.
Good job.
Jordan Newman, GCN Musical Minute. Internal GCN email regarding review for airing ASAP. Attached GCN promo for new programming block of investigational docu-specials with Jack Ryder.
When pop music sensation Cassidy wound up on the wrong side of a bad breakup, pyrotechnics expert Garfield Linz very nearly burnt Gotham to a crisp. But how did a former stagehand become a citywide threat? Join us as we explore the origins of the technology he used and his fascination with fire. Exclusively on GCN tonight with Firefly, the spark of insanity. Now over to the music. Analyzing the music of this episode meant that I had to re-listen to whatever the fuck Cassidy thought she was doing with that song at the beginning of this episode. And it broke something in my soul, and I've lost a little bit of respect for Barbara Gordon for wanting to be at that concert in the first place. Also, I really did like the creepy music at the end when Cassidy's scared of fire at the restaurant. I thought that was pretty good, sort of the eternal haunting of that. Never apologize for loving your fandom, and try to stay optimistic.
I did mean to mention that when she's swinging away with Cassidy and she says like, "Hi, big fan," or whatever. And I'm like, why? It fucking sucks. Like,
we could say the same thing about like Swifties though, right?
I thought you were going to say Kelly Clarkson. Ulrich riddle me this for Torch Song. Hello. I thought this episode was all right.
Hi.
I don't know why the fire talk in this episode was overbearing to me, but it felt off. There were no fire hands in this episode. Did they reuse any fire or explosions from BTAS or STAS? I don't think so. Thanks for putting up with all my nonsense. Here it is.
Riddle me this. What's applied like accelerant this episode but risks smothering the script? All of these tepid fire puns. Hottest singer, cold as a burned out fuse, snuff you out like a candle. The inflammatory wordplay strikes while the iron is hot but crashed and burned for me. His name is Firefly. He likes fire and flying. Get it? Speaking of flying, where does the Rocketeer Firefly get all of those wonderful toys? The weapon that burns brightest this episode burns with a heart of Kyber, apparently. Garfield Lins was able to build a flame saber in a shop with a box of scraps. What story spark set our narrative ablaze last episode, but is a flash in the pan this time? Seeing Batgirl's mortal fire extinguished. Batgirl is trapped motionless under burning rubble. Oh no! She's fine. Imagine if I was one hot rage if this episode ended with Batgirl waking up from yet another nightmare. The heat wave of Brian's frustration would change weather patterns. El Brianino. No, this episode does what they do every night, Pinky. Narf. Batman takes the villain from the frying pan to the fire. Firefly goes up in smoke, and the whole ordeal is kindled in Cassidy's consciousness, a panic of pyrophobia. Happy ending for everyone. Exhumed and extinguish.
Damn, 56 seconds.
Whoa,
good job.
Fuck, that's so good. Why are people better than us?
Yeah, this is
we
a
need
good
to just
show.
do a full
I love
on
this
like
jump on the Bat-Wagon. Yeah,
we just need to do a full like fan led episode because obviously they're better than we are.
We've done that, Dylan and Keen. I mean, that was still us.
No, it was
Torch
us.
Song in USA Flashlight Song from Scarloey1.
Hello, listener, and welcome back to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarloey1. In this episode, I will tell you about Season 1, Episode 12 of the New Earl Adventures, Firebird. Two-Face was talking to Earl. I need a new car, preferably one that has something to do with the number 2 or flipping coins. What you need is a 1999 Pontiac Firebird. It starts at 200 horsepower, has rear-wheel drive, and a 1,000-pound towing capacity.
It does not have rear-wheel
Are
drive.
you being paid by Pontiac to say this? A respectable and friendly company like Pontiac would never do such a thing. Goodbye, Earl. The end. This episode was sponsored by Pontiac. Many people question why they thought this was a good idea, and says that this led to them going out of business. Anyway, see you next week. Same few time, same poo channel.
Is that true? I haven't heard of a Pontiac product in a long time.
Yeah, Pontiac's is they're owned by GM, but they went out. And actually, I withdraw my previous statement. The 99 Pontiac Firebird is actually rear-wheel drive. And it's not a good car.
My dad wants a Pontiac Firebird from whatever Smokey and the Bandit car, you know.
I think it's a 76.
This is from Kevin Delacry. The ending of Over the Edge when you find out nobody went over any edges. Hey, Beige and Jabe. So regarding the ending of Over the Edge, Jabe, let me talk about a different cartoon that's old enough to vote. I don't know how much you guys know about Ben 10, basically nothing, but there's a season 2 episode where Ben suddenly wakes up in the pilot episode and he remembers everything that has happened since, as if all of time was reversed by a few weeks and he only remembers the old timeline.
Whoa.
They never explain what happened and what caused time to reset or why Ben remembers the old timeline. Eventually, the episode kind of stops without a conclusion, and then a mysterious narrator comes on and says something like, crazy stuff happens in the multiverse, and that's supposed to signal that this episode was non-canon. I found that episode really frustrating as a kid. Yeah, I would too. What the fuck? All of this to say, I think the only ways that TNBA could have a big epic Batman's World Unraveling episode would be to have it be a dream, a trick, or an alternate universe. Alternatively, it would have been a little too much of a downer to have Gordon and Batman die and then have some cosmic DC character pop up, break the fourth wall, and say, it's a good thing that didn't happen in the universe where the rest of the show takes place. I guess, yeah, that would suck. And I really like the episode. I'm glad they made something kind of daring and out there, even if they had to walk it back by the end. It sure beats making another episode like Torch Song. Speaking of Torch Song, it's a structurally an okay episode, but it's got some bad vibes, man. Firefly is introduced in disturbingly true-to-life ways, except they didn't, like, do anything with that. They just tell you he is. Like, you never really see it. Like, she punches him out immediately. But then the episode isn't all that sympathetic to Cassidy either. Yeah. So the whole thing has just left a bad taste in my mouth when all said and done. Clever, personalized send-off here, Kevin D. Thank you.
I think the only thing about that I kind of disagree with. Just because...
I mean, we all know that Kelly Clarkson is an entertaining celebrity anyway.
Just because a Ben 10 episode did it worse doesn't mean that this is a good episode.
I guess so.
Again, still on my top 10, but...
Right, yeah, of course. Number 3. Banana Boy says okay.
Okay.
Nice. Charles Motosierra. You see the new fireproof armor Batman and Evil Firefly? Come get their new action figures with actual fireproof material.
Yeah.
Attention, product highly flammable. Language used for dramatic purpose. Do not let near stove. Do not let a child play with a magnifying glass near the product. Do not enter the state of Arizona with the product. I think I lost myself there, but it's a pretty cool toy commercial with Batman in it. Mason says, I haven't listened to this episode because I'm trying to catch up before you finish btas, so I can listen to the last ep as a real Yoppie guy in real time. I just finished episode 53, so who knows if that'll happen. Well, when you hear this, welcome to the podcast. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll add on Dylan Pollock comment because it was funny. It says, parents made me have the mullet as a child in the far gone days of the 90s, Brian, and I'll never go back.
Dylan?
So there's your answer.
Dylan, you've got my number. Dear God, I need a picture.
Yeah, please. Ryan Hipp, Torch Song Trilogy. You see, that was the name of one of Matthew Broderick's earliest stage roles. It's better when I explain things floobity-doo. I would have enjoyed it if when the Cassidy sign was blowing up, the word ass stayed illuminated for half a second.
Yes,
and it made
we
it
all
to
thought
air.
it.
Yes. Planet Hollywood jokes aging like wine. Free Cassidy. Okay, here's a voice message.
Let the record show that I beat Mark Aquino in the comments by 2 seconds.
He sure did.
Ryan Hipp, you have bested me for the last time, you ginger son of a bitch.
Oh, what, you want to make something of it? You want to make something of it?
Bring it, Quest for Camelot.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce you like a bad check, man.
Wow. Welcome back to Behind the Music.
Oh,
sorry,
my God.
but yes, it's everybody's favorite. That was the title. Where Batman faces his greatest enemy of all, Taylor Swift. You know what? That's disrespectful to Cassidy. I'm on a roll, guys. Cassidy's song is better than anything Tasteway ever did. What are you Swifties gonna do about it? Come and get me, you fucking weirdos. I'm the one standing in an empty parking lot after a concert. Newfound Glory fucking rocks, by the way. Oh, that's my ride. Oh no, Bruce called Barbara a good girl and asked her what she was doing tonight. Discourse, fucking bullshit. I need a life. And what is it with Batman and incels? That's it. That's the voice message, I guess. Gubernatorial.
Thanks, Ryan. At first, I thought that the sound of the like parking lot lights above you was part of the music that you put in, and it just kept going. And I was like, "Oh wait, this is real. This is happening."
I was confused, but you know what? It's a Ryan Hipp message. We can have just anything.
It's whatever.
I'm waiting for the Teletubbies theme song to be in the background of a voice message.
These podcast episodes are way too long now. I was trying to make this one shorter because the last one was 3 hours, which was partially as a sorry for skipping a week kind of thing. But
quick, Jamie, go to the next one.
Dr. Derp, Revenge of the Mail, Torch Song, or You Know What to Do with the Bat Soundboard, James. It's that bat time again. Time to tune into the same bat channel for today's Bat-Wagon Mail. Ticketmaster bounced Bruce's bat credit card, but it was nice of his girlfriend to pay for the tickets. Luigi? Read the following in your best Mater/Larry the Cable Guy voice. Don't you remember, Barbara? You was there too. I guess that's my Larry the Cable Guy voice. This episode isn't nearly as sharp with its social commentary as Mean Seasons, but it's certainly a slow burn. Elevated significantly by how dang menacing and intense the fire looks in this episode. One might even say it looks keen.
I wouldn't.
And more importantly, what is it with all these incel Batman villains deciding that destroying the city is the best way to cope with their emotions? Fire, ice, what's next? Bees? Batman's got some new bee, man. Favorite moment, the ending. Yeah, us too, because it was over. MVP of the episode, Batgirl, Cassidy, and the incel all find ways to steal the show, but I'm going to give it to the Wolfman. Ow! Words of wisdom. Don't play with fire. If you play with fire, you go chicken, or something like that.
Yeah, I've heard that before too.
You fry. I must now resume my journey across the kingdom of Hyrule in search of the enigmatic Tobias A. Yoppie Bay Fridge. So until next time, go gadget, battery-powered Zonite backpack. Jetpack, Jesus Christ.
Love it.
I might be slightly drunk, so it's harder to read. Clayton Purdy. This is another new person, I think. Hey, Bert and Ernie. New listener here working through my work, the backlog, but Over the Edge is the episode that has stuck with me more than any other. Whenever someone mentions BTAS, the visual of Batgirl splatting on her father's car is one of the first things that comes to mind. It's such a visceral moment.
Totally.
I appreciate the podcast. The laughs help pass the time during the long, boring nights stocking shelves. Now I must return to the past and listen to the two of you and Joe debate about how Ra's al Ghul's name is pronounced. I look forward to hearing your responses in several weeks. Yop on, yop free, yop hard. Clippy. P.S. Happy belated Zeta month. Oh, thank you. God. Kevin Sanchez, over the edging thought from Firebird 1080. Hi, Brad and Jamantha. Is this a new? I can't remember if I've read your name before. I'm so sorry. Just catching up with the last 2.5 months of episodes after moving across the country, Arizona to North Carolina. It only took me a day to catch up, if that's not a huge feat compared to others. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Wait,
I left YouTube.
Whoa.
Probably 2 or 3 times speed. I don't fucking know. Question: do either of you watch the episode with subtitles on? No, Brian purposely turns them on.
Yes, that's true.
Also, Brian, my brain does something similar to yours, mixing the words strawberry and tomato. Only mine does it with 3 and 7. I say the wrong one, but they have the right one in my head. Anyway, I hope you liked the Human Torch episode. I'm guessing Brian didn't, though. From my pineapple laptop like in Digimon.
Do you know the Queens of the Stone Age song, 3s and 7s? Like, maybe it's written for you. It's a really good song. Really good song. That's a karaoke song. You should get into that song.
I won't. Last couple, we got Eric LeBeau, Torch Song, or Tony Zuko really let himself go. Well, I'll start by guessing that Brian flips coin and looks at the result. Didn't like this episode. Not that I would blame him, considering that Firefly really went from 0 to 100 here as far as guys who turn to crime after not getting laid camp is concerned. The fact he either had his gear and his suit all prepped before his breakup or whipped it up in no time at all is a lot. It makes me, that's what he was welding, I think. It makes me wonder if he's welding the paper that he made his costume out of. It makes me wonder if there's a support group in Arkham solely for villains like him, Mad Hatter, and post-movie screams in coffee can, Mr. Freeze, who need to learn to move on. Honestly, I'm surprised Garfield didn't want to kill her just because he had to listen to her awful singing for a living.
Wow.
On the topic of awful singing, it's been a full year since the Balderarchy theme came into our lives, and I want to thank you guys so much for enjoying it, and thank you once again for giving me something I can look forward to every week. Oh, you only look forward to hearing yourself every week. I was going through a lot during that time. It's been a long and bumpy year, but I'm in a place I never thought I'd be, thanks to having a light at the end of each week, especially my roughest ones like this past week.
Oh,
cool.
shoot.
I'm glad to be there for you, man.
Yeah. What can we do to make the week better?
Pee pee poo poo.
Pee pee poo poo.
God pee pee poo poo. Whatever that Sand said forever ago. Until next time, keep calm and yop on. And remember to not go see the Crow remake when it comes out soon. I saw the trailer before the new Alien movie that I saw last night, and it does not look good at all. I'm so sorry, Brian.
I mean, it's fine because I love the original Crow
still. Yeah.
And
which is what I can say about the new Alien movie as well, is I'll still have the original because the new one was bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's already been the Crow City of Angels, which I also...
Right. There's a bunch of Crow sequels.
I don't remember anything about it. I remember hating it, which maybe I'd do better now. I probably wouldn't.
The ending of this email says, by God, please let this thing get buried and give your money to Watchtower Database Patreon instead. Thanks. And while Ryan Hipp did beat Mark Aquino to the first comment, last verse is Mark Aquino. Torch Song, or Bring on the Garfield jokes. We didn't make a fucking single one. I guess Firefly hates Mondays. Or you would believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. No heavy breathing. What happened? Bizarro Mark, Scarface, Danny, you're all here. Of course we're all here. Why the hell wouldn't we be? You okay, Mark? I just had the most horrible dream, and you were there, and you were there, and little Danny was there too. Oh man, it felt so real. Yeah, that are bad. Wait, what do you mean? Well, it turns out the adhesive that's used to seal that envelope we sent you was laced with Scarecrow's fear toxin. Oh. Yeah, I kind of figured those free envelopes that were mysteriously on our doorstep were too good to be true. Yeah, no worry, Mark. Everything gonna be okay. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you're back. So, what do you want to do? We want to know what you think of Torch Song. Oh, right, that one. Meh, it's okay, I guess. Dong Yang tried, but boy, did this make me miss TMS.
Was it even Dong Yang? It was so bad.
Batman, somersaulted backwards when he was being, attacked by Firefly in his armor thing, and it was just so stiff and poor and bad and doo-doo. Firefly visually and conceptually is an interesting villain, but this episode really wasn't much to write home about. The action was decent, I suppose. I don't know, man. This episode was a whole lot of nothing, at least for me. Not the worst TNBA episode. Yeah, it was, but not one of the best either. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs, the number one podcast host in this year Multiverse of Ours, Julian Glover, and based on true events. Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Good job. Remember to tell Gab that she rules. Likewise, all his loyal disciples, all the names. On the Awesome Sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours, y'all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. I can't think of anything else to say, so I'll just shut up now. Rapturous applause. Till next week, smoke bomb that'll be blown out by a big old whoosh because I just flew away, baby. And that's the fucking podcast. Goodbye. Oh, wait, I tell you the name of the next episode. I'm sorry. It's called Love is a Croc. Is it Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Yeah.
Yay!
What's it about?
Killer Croc falls in love.
Yeah.
Yay!
With who? It's someone we know.
Batgirl.
No.
Some lady.
Although
Jordan
there is
Blumen.
a Batman Adventures tie-in comic where he falls in love with some lady, but that's not this episode. It's a girl character that we've seen once before.
Once? I have no idea.
I'll just let you ponder that. That's fine. We have 13 episodes of Superman left, 12 episodes of Batman left, but only 16 episodes of the podcast until we start our new show.
What the fuck?
What the fuck, man? Let's leave, please. This is so long.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. Send us $100. Goodbye. This episode was balls.
Man, if you were hot before, this Firefly thing has shot you through the roof. Of course, I'm sorry it happened. I know it was a terrible ordeal.
Get off it, Frank. You know me, I'm a survivor.
Good, because I got some ideas for a new tour. New arrangements, new backup. We'll call it the Heat Wave, or Firestorm, something like that. What do you think? Cass? Did you hear me, Cass? Cassidy?
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Timm Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.